Dominus Volatilis presents. He wasn't born into money. He didn't inherit a seat in the pit. But with a borrowed $1,600 and an obsession with probability, Richard Dennis rewrote the rules of trading. In a world fueled by chaos, he found order and turned it into a fortune. This is the rise of the Prince of the Pit. Before he was a legend, he was just a kid from the south side of Chicago. No money, no connections, no path laid out for him, but one building would change everything. Inside, he saw a world fueled by chaos, and he felt something ignite. With a borrowed $1,600, he made his first move, not with instinct, not with luck, but with an obsession for probability. He stepped into the pit, a battlefield of noise, speed, and raw aggression. But while others shouted, he watched. While others gambled, he calculated. Slowly, the patterns revealed themselves and the fortune followed. The quiet kid from Chicago became something else entirely, a trader so precise he could teach strangers to trade like machines. This is the rise of Richard Dennis, the Prince of the Pit. Chicago in the 1950s wasn't a city that handed out dreams. It was a place that made you earn them, brick by brick, shift by shift. And in a working-class neighborhood on the south side, a young boy named Richard Dennis was learning exactly what that meant. His father worked as a janitor at the Chicago Board of Trade, a job that paid the bills but didn't open doors. But every day, Richard watched him leave in the dark and return long after sunset, exhausted but unbroken. That routine carved something into him. Success wasn't inherited, it was manufactured. And then came the moment that changed everything. He wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't supposed to see it. But he did. A cathedral of noise, a temple of risk, a place where fortunes were made and lost in seconds. And in that instant, something clicked. Not a dream, not a fantasy, a calling. He wasn't loud, he wasn't aggressive, he wasn't the type you'd expect to survive in the pit. But those so-called weaknesses became his greatest weapons. Where others shouted, he observed. Where others reacted, he calculated. Where others gambled, he studied. By his teens, he took a job as a runner at the exchange, sprinting orders from brokers to clerks. Most kids treated it like a paycheck. Richard treated it like reconnaissance. He wasn't just learning the game, he was decoding it. And at 17, he made the decision that would define his life. Richard walks toward the entrance of the Chicago Board of Trade. He wasn't trying to be a trader. He was trying to master uncertainty itself. Lesson number 1, you don't need Monado to become a trader. You need rules. By 17, Richard Dennis had saved every dollar he could. $1,600, not much by Wall Street standards. But to him, it was everything. It wasn't just money, it was risk. It was sacrifice. It was the line between staying where he was and stepping into the unknown. From the sun coming up and the sun going down. He'd watched his father work himself to the bone for a paycheck. Richard wanted something different, not out of arrogance, but out of possibility. He had spent years studying the markets from the outside, learning the mechanics, the patterns, the psychology. Now it was time to test everything he believed. Richard knows this is his decision moment. $1,600. One chance. No safety net. No second chances. Just a belief that he could turn logic into profit. Richard walks through downtown Chicago with the cold wind and tall buildings surrounding him. He walked to the Chicago Board of Trade with the same money most people would use for a used car or a semester of school. He was about to use it to enter the most unforgiving arena in finance. The moment he opened those doors, he wasn't a spectator anymore. He was a trader. The pit was a storm. Loud, violent, and unpredictable. A place where hesitation meant death and confidence meant survival. But Richard didn't flinch. He didn't shout. He didn't try to overpower the noise. He watched. He listened. He calculated. And then came the moment, his first trade. A single order ticket that carried the weight of his entire future. In seconds, the trade was filled. No turning back. No undo button, just the raw reality of the market. Most traders remember their first win or their first loss. Richard remembered the feeling, the realization that he belonged here. He didn't win every trade. He didn't expect to. But he learned fast, faster than anyone expected. He realized something most traders never do. The market wasn't chaos. It was a system, one that rewarded discipline over emotion. And then it happened, his first real gain, not luck, not chance. Proof that his approach worked. $1,600, that's all it took. Not to make him rich, but to set him on the path to becoming one of the greatest traders in history. Lesson number 2. The trend is the truth. The Chicago trading pit was a storm, loud, violent, and unforgiving. But for Richard Dennis, it was the perfect environment to test a theory. Armed with nothing but discipline, logic, and a borrowed $400. He stepped into the chaos with a plan. Small wins came first. Tiny edges. Barely noticeable. But they were consistent. And consistency compounds. Dennis wasn't trading on gut instinct. He was following trends, pure, mechanical, and emotionless. A system built on probability, not personality. When markets broke out, he didn't hesitate. He pressed his advantage, riding moves others were too afraid to touch. $400 became thousands. Thousands became tens of thousands. And the curve kept rising. Then came the moment every trader dreams of, his first million. But Dennis didn't celebrate. He simply adjusted his position size and kept going. He caught the biggest moves of the decade. Soybeans, currencies, and wheat futures. When markets trended, Dennis was already on board. His real edge wasn't speed, it wasn't aggression, it was psychology. It was the ability to hold winners longer than anyone else and cut losers faster than everyone else. Numbers rising again. $1 million, $5 million, $20 million gives $80 million. His fortune grew faster than any trader in Chicago's history. And from a borrowed $400, Richard Dennis built a $200 million empire. Stories spread and myths formed. The quiet kid from Chicago had become a legend, the Prince of the Pit. By the early 1980s, Richard Dennis had already turned $400 into $200 million. But his greatest experiment was still ahead of him. He believed great traders weren't born, they were made. And he was determined to prove it. His partner, Bill Eckert, disagreed. Eckert believed trading success came from instinct, something you couldn't teach. So they made a bet, one that would become a legend. Dennis claimed he could take complete beginners and turn them into elite traders. He placed an ad in the newspaper. No experience required, no background needed, just discipline, logic, and a willingness to learn. Thousands applied. They came from every walk of life. Teachers, gamblers, engineers, and security guards are just a few of the types that applied to learn to trade. But only a few dozen were chosen. Dennis brought them into a classroom and taught them his system's simple rules, strict discipline, and zero emotion. He showed them the types of breakouts, how to size positions, how to cut losses instantly, how to follow trend strategies, and how to let winners run. They practiced for weeks, drilling rules, testing scenarios, and learning to think like machines. Then Dennis sent them into the real market. Not simulations, not theory, live trades, real money. And almost immediately, the results were undeniable. The beginners Dennis had trained were now executing trades with the precision of seasoned professionals. Within just a few years, the group collectively earned over $100 million. The financial world was stunned. Dennis had proven his point. Trading greatness could be engineered. They called them the turtle traders because Dennis believed he could grow traders the way farmers grow turtles. And he was right. They became one of the most successful trading groups in history. Lesson #3 trading is a skill, not a gift. Every rise in the markets carries a shadow, and even the greatest traders eventually meet theirs. By the mid-1980s, Richard Dennis was a legend, the Prince of the Pit, the architect of a $200 million fortune. But markets change, trends fade, volatility shifts, and even the strongest systems can be blindsided by the unexpected. For the first time in years, Dennis's system began to falter. Trades that once soared now sank. Signals that once worked now broke. Losses mounted. Pressure intensified. The pit that once felt like home now felt like a trap. For a man who built his empire on discipline and logic, the emotional weight of the downturn was crushing. In a single brutal stretch, Dennis lost more than half his fortune. Decades of gains erased in months. The media that once praised him now questioned everything: his system, his students, even his legacy. Some of his own turtle traders broke away, claiming the rules were flawed, or that Dennis had pushed them too far. For the first time, Dennis questioned the very system he had built, the system that had made him a legend. And then, in a move that shocked the financial world, Richard Dennis stepped away from trading. The pit roared on without him, but the absence of its prince was unmistakable. For Dennis, the fall wasn't just financial, it was personal. It was a test of identity, purpose, and belief. But Richard Dennis didn't disappear. He evolved, he learned. He accepted the fall as part of the journey, because true greatness isn't defined by the rise or the fall, but by the courage to face both. And Richard Dennis faced them all. Richard Dennis didn't just build a system. He built a philosophy, one that revealed as much about human nature as it did about markets. And that is the true legacy of the man behind the system. Only here will you get uncompromising, unfiltered truth. Historical, accurate, concise, and highly researched content. Thank you for watching. If you would like to learn more about amazing traders, keep watching. And always be sure to like and subscribe to keep getting amazing content.